Hi. Hi, Swatika.
Hi sir, how are
Hi,
you?
viewers. I'm Narayan, and I've been a cinematographer and a faculty of cinematography teaching in film schools. Now, I thought it's nice to embrace the online platform and maybe share some thoughts and also gain some thoughts and insights from all of you. So that's why I've started something like this, and we will be discussing on imaging and cinematography and perhaps even filmmaking. That's our plan. And today I'm joined by Swatika, who is also an aspiring cinematographer, and she has been a former student, and we'll be sharing some thoughts on certain aspects related to imaging and cinematography. See, often in film schools, what happens is we are into the process of doing things a lot. Actually, lighting up a set, shooting, and coming up with a nice camera movement. But then I always felt, we don't have adequate time for some very basic introspection. Like why do we image in the very first place? I just thought it might be interesting to kind of dig into these kind of aspects and ask yourself, why do we image? In fact, when I asked myself this question, yesterday or day before yesterday, I couldn't find an answer as to why do I image. I like imaging, that I know, but why do I image? I found it very difficult. As I was trying to take some pictures through with my DSLR, um, I found a lot of peace. I liked the process. I was able to find frames and things like that. But the whole point of why I image was still a mystery to me. And I think I would like to take on to the journey, asking people and others as why do they image? And also, it's nice to find a meaning or read into what the images are all about. Many times we capture abstract images and we don't know what it means actually. So I think let us try. I thought it might be interesting to get onto some that kind of a journey. So I would actually like maybe ask Swatika. She's also a photographer and cinematographer. What are her thoughts on it? Like, why do you image, Swatika? Would you like to say
Even
something?
I never thought about it. Why do I image? But actually, I don't have an answer, sir. Why do I image? Exactly, this is why I image. Every image has a reason, but why do I do imaging as such? I don't have a very specific one answer.
Right.
As after you told me, even I've been thinking about it for the past 2 days.
Right.
Every now and then I come with a new answer, but there's no one answer to it. Every image has its own reason, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
images
just don't.
communicate to you or give you a feeling or evokes a certain emotion in a certain way. I mean that's about it. But why do you image again becomes a very very challenging question, and sometimes it might be interesting to ask oneself about this. And as I said, let's maybe at some point ask people about this aspect. I was reading something yesterday about a photographer where he talks about why he images, or is basically answering this question. So I thought let me just go onto a share screen and maybe talk a little bit about it actually.
Yes.
Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this was okay. I think we'll keep it this way. Mm, there's a photographer called Eric Kim, and he came up with this pointer. Why we make images, why make images at all, and what are images, why images are important to society. Let's reflect. I think that's a very very interesting point. Thanks, Eric Kim, for raising this point actually. And he starts off by saying that it's about an imitation of reality or likeness to reality. That's where it starts. Okay, and even when I look at this image that he has put forth, already there is a tendency to be slightly expressionistic, because even in natural light we sometimes get to see more details in the shadow areas and things like that. But then here we see the face is going dark. That's again because of how the camera responds to light, or how the sensor dynamic range performs and things like that, even at the time if it is shot on film. But that's interesting. Suddenly we feel that this whole thing is very very what you call very expressionistic in its own way, and that's where the whole journey of imaging moves into. And here again he talks about painting and things like that, where initially the whole approach to painting was to create a certain likeness to reality, in many of these forms. So moving away from that, he says that when photography came, why do we need to capture lifelike images? There could be something different. So that's when later period of painters like Picasso, Dali, and Van Gogh started moving into Cubism, Surrealism, and Impressionism, where they are trying to convey an emotion or a feeling or sense of abstraction of reality and pose and dynamism in the paintings. So I guess that's where the whole thing moved when photography served the purpose of paintings of earlier times of bringing in the likeness of reality. And later on, he goes on to say, what is the purpose of photography? If you have to define, see, look at this, some of these pictures over here, and then he comes up with a pointer saying, I think it's best utilized to create images that convey our inner mind and soul, to create images that convey our own inner feeling and your perspective of the world. I think that's definitely one of the important answers. As an artist, we are seeking something, like if I have to answer why I took the photography or why I like imaging, maybe it just gives me inner peace, or bliss or ananda, what it is called. I don't know how to kind of, analyze or read into it at this point of time, but it just gives me a certain kind of, happiness when I just, go about taking pictures. So a good photographer, as he says, is a subjective one who revels in sharing their very personal world and vision with others. A very, very interesting statement. Create your own reality. What a nice statement. Create your own reality.
Yes.
With this thought, I would like to probably share some pictures that I clicked yesterday, and they are not actually pictures, but they're actually video clips. But then I felt, I was standing by the window and I was trying to capture something. And so these kind of, abstractions, appeal to me. I don't know, what it is, but then, things like this appeal to me. I'll show you maybe a couple of more, clips from here or images from here. Say, for example, this one. See, look at this one. Here again, it's a kind of an abstraction of reality in a certain sense, the background is out focus and things like that. So again, it opens up a new thought, seeing through the eye and seeing through the lens are two different things. When you look through the eye, you see the world in a certain way. When you look through the lens, it gives you a different information and different visual perception. I think, as photographers and image makers, it is important for us to practice both, looking with the eye and looking through lenses. And I was standing in this one place by the window and I was able to capture, quite a few images, not just one. So, that speaks about how as a photographer or image maker, so many forms, you feel connected to. It's a larger point for discussion and discourse, but at this point of time, going from what Eric said, it's important that we acknowledge the fact that all of us are image makers and so many of us are image makers. And why do we image? It's important to kind of maybe ask the journey within ourselves, and then maybe find a meaning to the way we image, the way we image. As we know, photography is an art form, and so what is this art? It's very important to get into these kind of questions. So maybe we should take a larger journey into this. And this is what I want to start off today with, with a very basic question as to why do we image. Maybe we can reach out to, so many cinematographers or photographers and ask them, why they do it. And, as I was taking these pictures, I wanted to, I mean, I kind of picked up my DSLR after many days. As you can see over here, this is the camera. I found, this viewfinder is a very, very interesting tool. These days when people shoot, they ignore looking through a viewfinder because by default, a DSLR never comes, with a viewfinder like this. Of course, today the mirrorless cameras do come with a small EVF. But when I realized when I was looking through this viewfinder, which gives you a slightly magnified image, the sense of looking at an image is very important. And that's why I feel, viewfinder is such a very important tool. The way you see an image is so very important, because when you look at an LCD, you're seeing the world, which is not just only the concentrated thing which you see through the frame. And that's why, coming from old school, I still hold on to a great sense of feeling when you look through a viewfinder. I think that's something which has probably been lost in this current generation, because as the manufacturers don't make it. I would definitely, I mean, there are a lot of third-party viewfinders available, from very simple ones to, electronic viewfinders, which you can adapt to cameras and DSLRs. I would definitely implore, young people to think of considering, investing in viewfinders. Maybe probably in this link, we can add some YouTube links where, there's a discussion by some people about different viewfinders that you can access to or buy when you're trying to, shoot images, particularly when you're shooting in daylight and outside. There's so much of bright light, and it's so hard to look at with an LCD screen. It's so very important to have a device something like this. So I think this is the thought I would like to probably, point towards. Maybe we can catch up more on these about frame and other things in the next session. So Swatika, any thoughts that you would like to share at this point?
So it's very significant to use a viewfinder, as you mentioned. It's
Right.
it's a good idea to actually use a viewfinder. It's a very people don't know to use viewfinder at this generation. Actually, like you people have learned it from. So it's, I think when I get money, I'll go start getting.
I felt very, very incapacitated without without a proper viewfinder when you shoot outdoor, actually. And even like I would recommend some of these mirrorless cameras which the manufacturers like Panasonic, Canon, are making. Definitely to spend maybe a little more attention to creating a good EVF to view. Not just for the sake of having a EVF. Actually, a good EVF is very, very important for image makers.
Very true.
I really felt the art of seeing, becomes so much more powerful when you have a good viewfinder.
Yes. And we probably don't get diverted and get into the scene, get to the corners of the. Every frame you get to see, and then you know what has changed and what is not changed.
True.
I mean, rather than photography and cinematography, we have to keep continuity going on. So that sometimes becomes a problem if you don't have a viewfinder.
True.
If you have a viewfinder, you see every frame, every pixel in a frame. So it's easy to actually come to a conclusion, probably. Yeah.
Right. So thank you, Swatika. Thank you, viewers. I just wanted to start with a small session like this. Hope to continue more in the coming, weeks with more content, like this or something more technical. However, it's just this journey which we have begun. And thank you so much. See you soon with the next episode.
Thank you, sir.